am back with another question. Dear wisdom seekers, I wonder if you have received the nuggets in the past videos, and if there's anything more you need. This question that I got, I'm going to break it down even smaller, or just combine what we've learned so far, but make it maybe more manageable for you. So join me for these nuggets. The statement is, I feel so useless and broken. Remember, I spoke to you about when I had my deep depression? That's how I felt. But we don't have to be in a deep depression to feel useless and broken. It may be just, no matter what I try, nothing in my life is working. I tried everything, nothing's working. So in the previous video, I spoke about breaking it down into small, manageable steps so that you can gradually build confidence and begin to see your intrinsic value without feeling overwhelmed. And I get when you feel so useless and broken, it's like, I am down and out. How am I going to get up? So first of all, I'm really sorry to hear that you are feeling this way. It is important to remember that feeling useless or broken is often a reflection of the challenges we face. And it's not a true representation of who we are. The challenges are just simply too big, and you don't know where to start. So here's the first thing. Acknowledge your truth. Thank you for writing and saying, I feel so useless and broken. Wow, thank you for sharing that, because you're not alone. And it's not who you truly are, because if that is who you truly were, you would not have asked this question, or you would have not made the statement. So thank you for sharing, because your sharing creates a caring for all those who are benefiting from the little nuggets I'm going to share. Thank you for sharing. That's your value with that question, and I want you just to honor that. So whoever feels like that and is listening to this video, it's okay. Acknowledge your feelings. It's okay to feel that way. Allow yourself to sit with these feelings without judgment. Wow, this is the key. You're not allowed to feel like that. You're not allowed to feel like that. Says who? Your feelings are your feelings, and nobody can tell you why you should or shouldn't feel that way. You can hear I'm quite stern about that. Your feelings are valid, even if they don't reflect the whole picture. Yes. You're allowed to feel sad. You're allowed to feel bad. You're allowed to feel mad. You're allowed to feel whatever you feel. But when you acknowledge your feelings, just check what happens in you. Come on, let's do it. Right now, I feel mad. What happens in your body when you say that? Whew, your body says, thank you. Thank you. What happens in your body when you say, I am so sad? Your body says, finally. Yeah. Acknowledge your feelings. Acknowledge your madness. Acknowledge your sadness. Because if we cannot acknowledge our mad, bad, sad feelings, we cannot acknowledge our happy feelings. Because if we then feel happy, we feel guilty for feeling the other feelings. And guilt is not a good feeling to have when we don't allow ourselves to feel happy. So why should we only allow ourselves to be happy and not allow ourselves to feel sad? Doesn't make sense. We are human beings. And we have these feelings for a reason. So acknowledge them. Remember, nobody else needs to see you. Nobody else needs to acknowledge you. You are responsible for acknowledging your feelings. You are responsible. When I had this bout of depression, I got so depressed because I was not able to voice my sadness. I was living with a partner who couldn't handle it. And it was only after, when I went onto my healing path, that I realized my sadness, acknowledging my sadness, meant for him to have to acknowledge his. Wow. And he couldn't do that. So it wasn't about me. It is about the world out there who cannot acknowledge your feelings. So don't expect them to. I want you to acknowledge your feelings. All right? That's a good place to start. I am not saying you need to sit and wallow in your feelings, because then you get to the place of depression where I was. Just acknowledge it. Because every feeling has, when you acknowledge it, every feeling has a message for you. So when we can't acknowledge a feeling, we can't get to the message, and I'll talk more about that later. And then take a step back. Because when you're overwhelmed and when you're in that, you can't breathe. So I want you to, when you acknowledge this feeling, take a step back from that feeling. Just step back from that feeling. And see what happens when you say, yeah, I'm feeling sad, but you're stepping back from that sadness, and you can see I'm actually doing it. And what happens when you leave the sadness there and you move yourself back, you get a clear view of the message of the sadness. So when you can't breathe, focus on, how am I going to get my breath back? Because when we're in that, we can't breathe. So the first step is to acknowledge I need to breathe, and take a deep breath. You can then go for a walk. You can meditate, listen to music, whatever you need to do in order to just break the intensity of that feeling. I'm not saying stay in it. I'm just saying acknowledge it. Don't stay in it. You need to find a way to breathe again. Reach out, talk to someone you trust about how you're feeling, because sharing your thoughts can lighten the emotional burden and help you feel less alone. So even in that situation where I had this friend and we were sitting together in the pity pot and we acknowledged each other's woundology, it helped us to realize we both were feeling similar feelings. And just by voicing it, we already felt lighter. Not the best place, but it helped out at that point in time. Again, focus on small wins. I was feeling so sad, so mad, so whatever. I couldn't get to the glad. So again, go for a walk and see, and just be observant of the beauty around you. And be glad about that you actually could leave the house and go for a walk. Just do that. And then focus on the small wins. I actually got out of the house and I did have a walk. And I got to a different feeling. Didn't mean that I'm not sad about whatever happened, but now I can put myself into a different space. Celebrate your small wins. And then Celebrate your small wins with acts of self-care, making yourself a cup of tea, making yourself a bite to eat. Whatever you need to do at that moment, practice self-care. Practicing self-care is the greatest way of celebrating small wins. It really is. And then you can do your gratitude journal. Okay. And then, yes, consider professional support, because you do not want or need to get to a point where it is so difficult to help yourself out of the deep hole. So whoever wrote this message, thank you for this message, but please consider getting professional support. Yes, these exercises that I give help, but if they're not helpful, you need to find somebody who can help you in a professional way. So go and find somebody who can help you. You can even reach out to me no matter where you are in the world. I am available via the internet. We're all connected to each other. And speak to me, set up an appointment with me, have a chat with me, and then we can work out where you can do from there. Okay. So if anything in this video felt like you liked one or two nuggets, click the like, click the subscribe, and join us on the continuation of this journey. I am sure that eventually you will have a question that you would want to ask, and then we can uncover and go into it and see what we can do with it together. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have an awesome day. Bye for now.